Hello, 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 hello. We are live. Uh, thank you, thank you all for coming. Um, Let me check that everything is working correctly. Um, Everything's working correctly, and let me check that you can see me and hear me. And then in a second, I will start. Okay, okay. Hello, hello, hello. I guess that we have audio. Okay, okay. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, can you see me? Can you see me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay. All right. Perfect. So we're gonna start finally. We're gonna start finally. And sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we're starting. Thank you. This is live. It's Friday, August 15th. So we're starting this live, and without further ado, we're gonna start. Okay, so this presentation is to explain the new CRMsync technology. So what things that CRMsync can do for you? So I'm going to try to explain and then show live what you can do with this. Essentially, you can, at the end of the day, multiply your sales by having more responsive, whether they are employees, affiliates, freelancers, etc. So, okay. So this is more or less, so you have a visual reference of what is the CRM system, the CRMsync system. You, your affiliate, your employee, your freelancers can all of them appropriately share data. And so what is the CRMsync? CRMsync is a technology that allows 2 or more computers, and this is important because you can do it to, potentially you can expand it to 5,000 computers. So imagine, I mean, the potential is almost unlimited, and actually can be converted into unlimited if necessary. 5,000 is a huge number to synchronize seamlessly unlimited data, content, and documents at different times and places, so users can work at full speed without being connected to the internet at all the time, across different software versions. So we're going to explain all this, what it means, because this is kind of a long description of the products. We're going to explain what it is. What means synchronize? Synchronize means, for example, that the data entered or modified in one computer in the Philippines will update another computer in New York as appropriate. And this is the important word here, and we're going to see what it means that. What means as appropriate? As appropriate means that only the agents or employees or freelancers or whoever you allow that are authorized to receive the data will get it. So in other words, the data won't be gotten by all the people in that particular network, even if they are, even if they potentially can receive some data, they cannot receive all the data. For example, an attorney shares data and documents with only 2 paralegals. This attorney may have 10 paralegals, okay? And that is, I would say, controlled by this private system, okay? The private system that you see here, that is part of our line of software, you can control who's going to see this record. So in this case, of course, this is just a simplified example that I did to show for the class, and it has here George, and I have this one that is called don't share, okay, that is not marked, otherwise it won't be shared. So this is a special provision that I have for records that are definitely no need to share at all. Could be personal records, it could be any kind. So I have a special provision in the setup for that. And this one will be shared. It will be private to George. Okay, so that means that only George or others that will be also marked will be able to get this data. So that is the beauty of this. That is it's a beauty of economy in transmission of data and also on reception of data, because you can have 1,000 people that that are affiliates, but they have different purposes. They are telemarketers, they are salespeople, etc. And only some of them will require. Also, a group can be part of the whole equation, meaning that, for example, that let's say that certain records, certain contacts, certain leads, prospects will be shared with a group, let's say the sales group, and because of that, well, so in other words, so a group could contain 10 people, could contain 100 people, so you don't have to list the 100 people. Only these people have to be part of that group. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that means as appropriate. Now, Now, what means contents and documents? Okay, contents means regular data like names, addresses, phone numbers, etc. Well, documents means Word documents, pictures, signatures, PDF, Excel files, etc. Okay, so I can demonstrate that. I'm going to try, by the way, to do this very, very short and then have a little bit of time to answer questions. And I see that there are already many questions, but hopefully I will address those before I finish. But let me show you how it works, okay? So this is kind of at the moment to show the meaning of sharing something. For example, let's say I can add a record, obviously, but this one has data, so it's kind of a nicer record to share, I mean, or to interact with. And I have this one. This is me, right? This is an administrator. I mean, on this computer, probably you don't see the icons here in the video. I mean, the different icons when I switch. But let's say that this computer that you see at the bottom that it says administrator, well, it's in one place. Okay, this is in Florida, and the other one, the one that I'm going to switch to right now, you see, that is George Hamilton Executive. This is in a different place. In fact, even though both are in my computer, both sessions, if you will, there are no sessions, there are programs, but even though both are in my computer, but in fact, they go through Texas to interact with each other. So I actually go back and forth to Texas very quickly. So let's say that I'm going to put here, and I'm going to assign. I'm here back an administrator, right? You can see that at the bottom. So I'm going to select one title for this portion farm, and I'm going to put attorney. Okay. So I essentially I typed it or added. In this case, is a pull down selection, and also let's say that I want to share a certain document with that person, with that contact, whether it is a paralegal, is a salesperson, affiliate. For affiliate is absolutely a must, and I explain that a little bit later. And I'm going to put here Federal Express contract or whatever that I want to send. Okay, and so that will be in the Documents tab here, and I'm going to put the number, and of course everything here is fake, so I'm going to put a number to that, and I'm going to select a document. And this is the beauty. If you were sending or receiving documents or Word documents or whatever with whatchamacallit, with from somebody, you would need to do it essentially by email, and then of course you don't have it integrated or manageable then inside the record or anything. So now, okay, so let's say I can do many things. I don't have to synchronize now. Okay, I don't have to. I can be working, and then in 2 hours I go and take a cup of coffee and click CRMsync. And then what the program does right now is to, you see, upload and download. It didn't have anything to download, so actually only upload it. And now I'm going to go to the other computer, okay? And the other computer does not have to be connected at this moment, okay? It can be at the beach, it can be, in a park, it can be whatever, it can be working at home, disconnected from the internet, and that's also the beauty, because the kind of a speed that you will have just from the fact that you're not connected. But then, when you come to the office or a suitable place, you want to connect and see what's going on. So I'm going to click, okay? And I'm clicking, and I'm going to review what I got. Well, I got attorney, right? I got the difference, and I got the things here. And I got the document. And that's the beauty. I got this document. So this is essentially the ability to send documents, content, and the task manager also is possible to to send and receive. So because maybe I'm sending attorney and this maybe no, it's not attorney. This is wrong. Oh my God, this is horrible. It's a chief performance officer. Okay, so you know I put a note. Maybe I didn't do it. I can do it now. So I don't have to do it. You know, I can do it. The description, the title was wrong. The title was wrong. I can put that. And then, okay, we're an executive now, remember, right? I'm gonna go back to administrator, which is again, in a different place, in a different state, city, or country. And I'm gonna click that. And what I have now is, I should have, you know, the title was wrong and it was changed. Okay, so I'm gonna keep showing this. So that what means content versus documents, pictures, signatures, PDF files, etc. What means across different software versions? Across different software version means that you could be using our CRMRS Ultimate, for example, which I'm using the Credit Money Machine, by the way, in one of the computers or in one of the sessions, for example, where your affiliates can use the CRMRS Companion, which, by the way, costs only $5 per month, while your telemarketers could use the CRMRS Lite at $24.95 per month. And all of them can sync with each other and with you. So again, they can also sync with each other. So a manager that is in another city, a manager of telemarketers, could be also syncing and sharing leads, etc., with other people too. So it doesn't have to be necessarily with you. Okay, so but you as an administrator, you're gonna get them all. Okay, you're gonna get them all, so you have a kind of the bulk of everything, so you don't miss anything. But in between, George could be sending to John, or could be sharing with John certain records, certain leads, certain prospects. What means working at full speed? Working at full speed means that none of the agents employ computers need to be connected to the internet to work. This is a very important concept, because right now, or up to now, if you want it to be, whether it is with our software or any other software, you need it to be, in order to share, you need to be connected to a network. So you need it to be there. And of course there are configurations where, you know, because of convenience and certain factors that certainly will favor being connected all the time, but majority of cases, especially in disparate solutions, and especially in solutions where you don't want that there's certain people, your affiliates, for example, or freelancers, or etc., or paralegals in the case of attorneys, they would have total access to everything, or even if the access is restricted, but still kind of total access. It's certainly not not the way that the world works, in the sense of you can have a laptop and you might not want to be connected all the time. So now they have total freedom with this CRMsync technology. So they can visit the client or work at the beach, and since they're working on their own computers, they can have a fantastic speed. Then when they return to the office or at home, they would press the CRMsync button to send and receive all the data and documents as appropriate. Again, remembering that as appropriate means to only the data that you are supposed to get is the data that you get. Now, by the way, for those of you that know, majority of you know about the speed that we have, but some of you might not know. So just to show you, that's why the speed is so important, because it's not possible to gain this speed with a web-based software. So this is a real software, the one that we use, and you see we have 172,000 records, almost 173,000, and I can do give me John 305 Florida. In a fraction of a second, I found X number, 30 records in this particular case, you see, and then I can simply review, I can, and it works by looking in emails and name, last name, company names, even names that are not the first one, you know. So these are things that's definitely not comparable to anything that you can have, especially in web-based softwares. It's not possible. So what means total freedom? Total freedom means that neither you or your agents, neither you, your agents or affiliates are obligated to be connected to the internet all the time. So think about it. Even you might be the administrator still. You don't need to be connected to the internet all the time, or for that matter, to be synchronizing all the time. Imagine working at full speed at all times, whether you're at home, on the road, at your client's place, or at your office, as opposed to web-based programs that inevitably are less slow. And for those of you that don't know the difference between a web-based software and software in the cloud, because you know people kind of interchange that name, but certainly it's not even close. A web-based software, which is the ones that you see out there, are software that are handled, that are interacted with through a web browser. So you necessarily need to have a web browser, and because of that, the data, the pages, the HTML code have to be sent back and forth from your computer to the server and back. The servers are always fast. That is not the problem. The problem is that the data, in order for you to see a page with certain data, that data has to be built as an HTML page and transmitted back to you, to your computer, where the browser will display that data. That is inevitably is a slow process because of data are transmitted back and forth, and it's a way you need to, the server needs to build that page, and in some cases the programming is so horrible that it's even worse. When you have, for example, let's say selections of states or even cities and or countries, and you have that per line, so that means that all that data has to be built in an HTML page for every line and transmitted back to you. Then when you move one record, even though you know you can do the systems already know what you're gonna ask, but it doesn't matter. You still need to build it and send it to you. So that transfer of data back and forth all the time, that's why you need to save, etc., is what makes us so slow, and it's inevitable. So what means unlimited data? Unlimited data means that any computer, any employee, can manage unlimited clients and leads. And this is another point. In almost all web-based services, the space and the number of clients and leads are limited, usually to very low numbers. So while 300 or 1,000 might look like a healthy number of clients, well, indeed, you know, if it, depending obviously of the industry, 300 or 1,000 could be fine, but up to 1,000 could be fine. But the number is nothing when we talk about leads. So having 10,000 or 100,000 leads plus is pretty common for any company. So think about that. We have 173,000 contacts, and certainly most of them are leads of one kind or another, whether they're mortgage brokers, realtors, attorneys, accountants, etc. So certainly they're not clients, but still, if we didn't have the power to handle them and to manipulate them with ease, to be able to select them, etc., then we will have a very high limitation. Also, many web-based systems restrict the space. So like, for example, to 1 gigabyte or whatever, which is nothing when you are using documents, when you put documents, which by the way become insecure at the same time. So how CRMsync will multiply your affiliate sale? So and this is important because remember, we're going to define this, so it's going to be here. First, we need to define an affiliate. In general terms, an affiliate is someone that is either selling your products and services or referring clients to you, okay? So we're going to use this term a little bit loose in the sense that it might not be a formal affiliate, like if you have a network marketing company, that will be a formal affiliate, but it's an affiliate is anyone that is either reselling your products and services. It could be a friend that is reselling your products, and or you know, maybe credit repair, whatever, and or or services, or referring clients. If they refer clients, become one kind of affiliate that is a kind of a little bit lazy, maybe, or not lazy, maybe not as close to your company, but still very valuable. The problem with that is always the same: how to make this, how to help this affiliate to make that sale. It's not only that they will refer the client to you, is making it possible for the affiliate to make a sale easier. So how CRMsync can multiply your affiliate sales? It is obvious the more organized an affiliate, the more he will sell or refer prospects to you. Having any CRM, not necessarily any of ours, contact management software, is a must to anyone that is in touch with clients and prospects. So that is kind of an obvious statement. If you are more organized, if you know that you need to call someone tomorrow at 3, it's going to be better than if you don't know, or if you don't have the phone handy. Well, that is going to be an issue. Essentially, it's going to make it more difficult or more time-consuming. It's going to be more inefficient, everything, if you don't have a CRM, a contact management software. So why doesn't everybody use a CRM? So that's the question that comes to my mind. Sometimes it's simple economics, so expensive, and others is lack of knowledge. So people don't know better. They don't realize, or they think that having smartphone, why they are wonderful, obviously, and all of us have a smartphone, but certainly no one can handle a business through a smartphone, a real business. I mean, so the decent ones, I'm talking about the CRMs, not even the good ones, cost 300 or 400, and still are not designed with the salesperson in mind, which is the whole point. So these ones, I mean, the decent ones that cost 400 are only designed to manage, but not to produce, so to speak. Basic needs are often overlooked. What is the difference with CRM Companion? I'm putting CRM Companion only because of the cost, right? That is really, really low. But obviously, the more the merrier, the more features. We design our CRM software with the salesperson in mind. We know that the cost is an important matter, and for that reason, we develop our CRM Companion at only $5 per month. Okay, what I can do with my CRM Companion? Many things can be done. For example, manage unlimited contacts. Again, the same thing that we said before: clients, leads, friends, providers. Not only their basic data, like names and phones, but also all kind of documents. So you can link documents, and I'm talking again right now to the most humble of our software, the CRM Companion, not the bigger versions that certainly you can do many things. So this is just basic stuff, but at least the basic stuff is 100 times better than don't having anything. So now what else I can do? Send a personalized quick email to one or many contacts with one click. So of course this does not have a full-fledged email system like the Pro version, CRM Pro or Pro Plus in Credit Money Machine. This has a way to send a quick email to one, personalized by the way, like put in the name and it will change automatically based on the email, to one or many contacts. Still, for the person that is paying $5 per month, well, this is an incredible feature, an incredible cost. Dial directly from your computer with one click. Again, that is thinking about sales, thinking about marketing, and we are compatible with several protocols. Skype is one, SIP, which is the soft phones like Ring Central, etc., and modems. You have an old modem, maybe not these days, but most importantly, the one that I find more useful to me is Google Voice, because it can interact and connect you for free with your other party, and so certainly that is very nice to do. And very easy, certainly. So also interact with Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Skype. So we have a provision here. We have a provision here, but we can see it here. This one is the light version, but we have it also in the companion. I put it in the light in order to test maybe a task. that companion doesn't have tasks, but it has the agenda. So anyways, here we have a provision to interact. So you can put the IDs or URLs of Facebook or the ID of Skype. So for example, if you have the Skype here and you click, you can go directly to Skype will open and will set you up directly to put a message for him in Skype. And certainly you can dial it if you are right there. So that's the interaction. Send personalized instant messages. So this is an SMS, but it goes through an email, but you send it from and it can be also for one or many. So here we have the provision to sending messages to the cell, as SMS messages to the cell, to the smartphone, and to one or many contacts. Enhance the functionality of your Windows desktop. This is also a very interesting area, and it's available in the companion and in all of them, actually, in every other program that we have. And this is like this. I'm sorry, I don't have anything there, so I have it here. So you see, so this is a way to have a bunch of data, okay? So you can have unlimited icons. So this could represent a portion of your desktop, or your Windows desktop, with the difference that you can have access to PDF, to manuals, to anything. Not only programs, can be programs, can be URLs, can be whatever, and also have a huge description that also can be searched for. And so any word that I can for example, view card. I'm going to use that word here and find, and I found actually two of them that had the word view card. So that is a power that you don't have in Windows, and they should be there, by the way. So it's very powerful stuff. Integrated personal agenda with recurrent capabilities. Certainly not a toy. Certainly not one of those calendars that you only can see one or two little notes. Not, in my opinion, not the best way. This one is a way to have unlimited, for the person that has a lot of action every day, a lot of tasks to do, a lot of calls to do, appointments, and this and that. We have the right personal agenda integrated. Manage unlimited groups. We have a system in the companion to manage user defined groups and another one-click groups. So you have actually 60 groups that this could be coherent. This could be let's say for the whole network, you can personalize this thing, and then you have the user-defined fields where you can have, user-defined groups. Actually, in this case, these are the user-defined fields. The user-defined groups where you can have unlimited groups for anything. I have a group, for example, for people that I advise about the webinars. So I have that group. When I want, I only click on it, and that's it. And they will be selected, and then I send an email. Not from the companion, from Credit Money Machine Ultimate, but same approach, same process. Different convenience depending on the version. Multi pop-up notes for lists, telemarketing scripts, etc. So again, even though we have a very humble version here, but we can pop up these 8 different areas that you can consider like post-it notes, and put something. This could be a telemarketing script for telemarketing. You can see it has a telemarketing. All right, and then then you have your telemarketing script here, so you can have, and this is only one reason you can have a list that things that you need to buy when you go out, and it has many features here, by the way. You have calculations, you have links, you have clips to have a certain, for example, here in the clips, in this that I call a kind of a clipboard, you can have, let's say this is description is email to advise of webinar. Certainly not the technique I use. Certainly not the technique I use because we have template manager, etc. But still, I could have something and put here this Friday is the webinar, and I can do it long, right? And if I'm going to advise in a continuous basis, I can copy this, so I can have a bunch of a clip, and this could be, again, very long, okay? This could be whatever, it could be very, very long, and then I can copy that with one click, and I can use then one of the tools to send the email to several people, or advise by phone, etc. So that is the pop-ups now. Okay, so that's pretty much all, even though it's so what I can do, on top of that, we have integrated in our most humble version the CRM Companion, our newest CRMsync technology. So in addition to all the features in CRM Companion, your affiliate can sync the prospect with you in seconds, if desired. And desire means both ways. You know, they can desire, they can want to share with you or not. But imagine that they can, and again, we have other techniques that I forgot to tell, and that would be the instant message. So so that, for example, if I in the instant messenger, I can, let's say, let me look here for George Hamilton. No, I'm gonna look here. I'm gonna look here because it's easy for me at this moment, and I'm gonna send a message. Okay, so I'm gonna select current and remember to call me. Okay, so depending on what if he has it started or simply is gonna do it when he enters automatically, this person could again, right now is not started. You can see here, but I can receive still. But when you enter, you know, it's automatic. So you see, remember to call me. So. And so you have that message, and that will be any part of the world. Okay, so you can communicate. And imagine that I have a new record that I want to share, right? So I create a new record, and I'm gonna put here. Well, I'm gonna put my name, and I'm gonna put this, and I'm gonna put a note, and I'm gonna say this is a great prospect to call, and I want to share this with I'm gonna put the phone number maybe, right? So and I'm gonna put it private to, so I'm gonna share it, I'm gonna put it private to yours. So okay, so this is a new stuff, right? So when I go to my cup of coffee, even though, you know, it takes a couple of seconds, so it's not something that, you know, whatever. The other person doesn't have to be connected, but when it is connected, well, it's gonna receive this particular lead that it should be probably at the end here. Yep, you see. So here we are in executive, and we have received this. This is a good prospect to call. Da 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 da. Okay, and I didn't put my name. I shouldn't have done that. Put my name, don't share, just to. I was lazy. So, but that is completely irrelevant to what I'm trying to explain. So don't get confused. Simply that I put this to indicate. I'll show you to indicate in the setup. We have several provisions here for the CRMsync, and among them. I just put my name as don't share, trying to be a little bit funny, but when you click here, this don't share at all, that means that that any record that contains this won't be shared. So that's a way for you to be sure that your private stuff is not being shared, whatever. And also another provision, interesting provision. First of all, you can, as you can see, activate or deactivate agents just with one click. So that means that someone you fire, you deactivate it immediately, and simply that person will be able to access the synchronized thing. So you can even put it, you know, that that he cannot enter and stuff. But anyways, my point was related to to this, to the don't share. Okay, so we have a lot of provision and very easy to do the setup. You do the setup of a new agent pretty much remotely. Once everything is in place, yeah, just a couple of clicks to set up one person to activate it and to be able to to make it usable. So okay, so here, who would benefit from using CRM Companion? Anyone that has affiliates, telemarketers, freelancers, employees, or want to increase their sales potential. Anytime that sharing data becomes a need, the CRMsync will be there to help you. And this is so true. Think about it, different versions, different things, the ability not to be connected to the internet at all times, like it happens with every other system in the world. And so basically, CRMsync technology allows you to be disconnected and connected at whenever you want. So especially useful for all of these, and well, probably hundreds of more different categories, industries. Credit repair company, network marketers is a must. Bankruptcy attorneys or any kind of attorney, tax or financial consultants, accountants, mortgage brokers, realtor. In particularly for the realtors, it's interesting because you could share the comments and the pictures of the house with your office broker and credit unions, insurance agents, etc. Churches could be very, very interesting for different reasons, but certainly the intimate communication with the instant messenger and the ability to share data could be, part of a fundraising projects, etc. So now, pretty much that's that. But I'm going to. So here, in addition to the CRM component, we have a full line. Well, you know that CRM software for telemarketers, business professional, or service companies. And here are the prices. And I'm gonna see while you watch the prices and stuff. I'm gonna see a few questions here to see if if there is something that I haven't, Okay. 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 There's one question here that is not available today, but it's going to be available on Monday. So someone is asking me if it is available today. No, this is just a presentation. I can barely was able. I didn't have time to compile, etc., to put it properly. But so sorry for that. And so okay, so yeah, I answered pretty much everything here. And so that's it. I'm gonna give just a few seconds in case that you want to ask any questions. And or let's see here. Okay. Okay. Okay, more questions here. Somebody's asking if this is live. Yeah. Yep. Well, at least now it's live. It's actually 3:43 Friday Eastern Time, August 15th. So yep, it's live. It might not be live when you see it next time, and it's gonna be on in the LMR webinar, right? In the list of videos. So obviously that won't be live, but then now it's live. And so again, a few seconds here and there, and no more questions. Okay, well, I'm happy that everything has been clear enough. So thank you all, and next week we're going to have an interesting topic. I'm going to also create a video, but not to show it I'm going to put it there for how to set up the Pro. And for those of you that are so inclined to do it yourselves, otherwise we can do it for you. And thank you, and until next time, thanks a lot. See you soon. Call me if you have any questions. Thank you.